everyone, it's Melody here. This is a little bit of a very delayed video. I think it was back in October, I actually posted a scrapbook process video with this layout, which was part one to a 2-page spread. Well, I've actually completed the second page. Here it is. And actually completed this pretty much the week after I did the other one. I just never posted it. So I want to share that with you today. It's got the upside down kind of view of the layout. I since have changed the way I record videos, but I still wanted to share it with you so you could see the process video for the second page of this. So stay tuned and see how this layout came together. Thanks, guys. Before I actually start this page, I'm just showing the companion page to what we'll be showing in my scrapbook. So the other side was the one I completed a couple months ago, like I mentioned in the introduction, and then this page is going to be the companion page to that. It's got a lot of the same elements, a lot of the same styles, just different colors and different papers. Some of the papers are actually similar so that they coordinate. I did not use the exact same thing in both pages just because I wanted to be different. I'm not typically very planned out in my scrapbooking, I should say. I usually just kind of go with what feels right as I'm scrapping. So that's exactly what you're seeing here. I'm just kind of cutting, and then I'll end up trimming a little bit more later. And when I use doilies especially, I like to cut off the parts that are going to be overlapped. That way I can continue to use them. And I do apologize that you're going to hear Kaylin in the background. He's just having a good old time playing in his room, and I'm in the office doing this voiceover. So please just excuse the playing noises that you hear. He's in there by himself. I don't exactly know what he's doing, but he's having a good time. So back to the layout. Now I'm just actually adhering the layers, and I'm cutting off the excess. Pretty self-explanatory. I like using the tone-on-tone papers for the background. Like I've got this gray and kind of silverish tone-on-tone, and I'm also pulling out this silver marker. And it looks really dark on camera, I'm noticing, but in person it has a much more metallic look to it, and it's not quite so bold. It's just the way the camera angle was. You weren't picking up the shimmery part of it. You're just picking up the darkness. But this is a lot more subtle in person, this border. I like the view the border gives. It just seems to finish off the edges a little bit. I've got a couple small stickers here that I'm going to use up in the corner. They are leftovers that were on my sticker sheet. And then I've got this silver, I was going to say gold, but it's not gold, it's silver glitter tape that I'm also going to use. And I actually got this out of the Target dollar bin. I know American Crafts has their own glitter tape, and a couple other brands do as well. But this one works just fine. And it was a lot cheaper actually. It was only $1. Once I added that border, this page, that blue paper was a little bit too long, so I'm just cutting it down. And I'm going to again use this silver glitter tape at the bottom to keep the same elements throughout the page. As I mentioned before, I also used a lot of these same elements on the companion page, which you can go back on my Design by Melody channel and see that in the past. I believe it was October when it was originally posted. This layout was done then as well. I just never got around to doing the voiceover and posting it. I had a crazy end of the year, so I took a break from YouTube and a couple other things. So now I'm kind of getting back in the swing of things and getting the last of the previously recorded things posted, and this was the last one. So this is the last video that you'll see of me recording with it kind of with me scrapping upside down. I've since changed my video recording, so it now records from up above instead of at an angle. Now I'm doing all this work to put this twine on here, and it will not stay there. I'm going to go a little ways with it, and then I'll come back and change it. Pulling out these Project Life cards. These are actually the wedding edition ones. They have some great colors in it. I love the subtle grays and whites and blacks. That's pretty much all that's on these cards, and it just works perfectly with scrapbook layouts because those colors typically you can mix with any other color. You can mix it with red, you can mix it with yellow, you can mix it with green, just because it has the neutral tones. I'm going to use this 4x6 card to put my title and also kind of build up on that side of the layout. I've got some Daily Flash stickers that I'm going to use, as well as some Studio Calico Color Theory stickers in slate. Here's where I'm continuing along the path of using the twine. I used my scissors to help me tie the ribbon, or tie the bow actually at first, and now I'm just kind of finagling it to be the right size, and I just can't figure out where to put it. And now that I look at it, it probably would have been just fine sitting on top of that asterisk, but I couldn't seem to be satisfied with it, so I'm cutting off the other one here, so I'm not even going to include the twine at all. I'm going to go ahead and start building my title here. After I do this banner up here on the left side, and that's going to bring a little bit of that darker gray up to that corner, whereas before it was just going to be part of my title. So it's going to make that continuous across as well. If I put one thing on the layout, I try to also put it in a second place, if not a third place. I usually try to go by the rule of thirds, or threes, or whatever the actual rule is, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. The title is going to be Happy and Content. So these are the same Daily Flash set from October Afternoon. The Happy is going to be in the script font, and the Content part is going to be in the title letters. And then I have the and sign from the Color Theory set. This yellow actually worked perfectly with the asterisks from the those asterisks were left over from a Studio Calico kit months ago, and that is I'll use the last of them on this layout, and then I'll be done with that set, with that embellishment pack. Because this 4x6 card had this little label on it, it made a perfect place for my title. I just kind of staggered it a little bit so it would read more smoothly. There, I've used the last asterisk that I had, and then I'm also going to add a little bit more of this glitter tape off to the right side. Been building up the layout little by little, and I've got it to where the corner of that yellow paper fits right in next to the title, so it doesn't seem like it's a separate element, it just seems like another layer. Add a few more finishing touches with a few more embellishments. This little plastic bin that you see right there are mostly things that I've cut out of paper, whether it's cut out of 12x12 sheets, or it was things I cut out with my Cricut, or other small die cuts that I bought. Mostly, I think there may only be a few die cuts in there, which were the end of a pack. Most of it is from what I've cut out of 12x12 pattern papers, where I fussy cut it. I love these little Polaroids. Since I cut those out of 12x12 sheet, there's a lot of half ones, so I try to use those as layering under corners of things. But I'm actually going to use a full Polaroid on this layout, as well as this letter that says, or this word that says family, and this was cut again out of a 12x12 sheet of paper. It had a whole bunch of strips with just different words on it, so I cut them all out. And I'm using them, periodically. I'll probably have them for months or years even. There are probably over 100 words on that sheet, but I cut them all out and they're in this little bin. So I started to use that family, and I'm going to go back. I took it off, and now I'm actually going to use a sticker. And it has a little heart, and it says, "You are loved." And then I'm going to put, using that Color Theory set, which again puts it in a third place on the layout, I'm going to put "For Always." So it's going to kind of be somewhat of a subtitle. It says, "You are loved for always." And there's going to be not really any journaling. I am going to put February 2013 kind of under the photo. It's not really necessary since it's going in my album that has the months labeled, but for whatever reason I decided to put it on this layout. So I've got my title, which is Happy and Content, the subtitle that says "You are loved for always," and then it's going to have February 2013 right under the photo itself. Add a few enamel dots. Since I've used perler beads and made my own enamel dots, I don't buy enamel dots typically anymore, so I have a lot of half packs that I'm still trying to get rid of. Oh, this is another thing I like to do. I have two of these, this little container that has a small punch in it. I have one that has a heart and one that has a star in it, and I use scrap pieces of paper to just punch hearts and stars out of it in different colors. That way when I want to add them to a page, I have them ready. So I put the little heart that was on the You Are Loved sticker, I pop dotted it, and then I added another little heart right here beside Happy and Content. And then I'm going to add a third one up there on top of the camera and just cut off the part that hangs off. And there's just a closer look at how I keep that. And then here's where I'm just going to add February 2013, and this finishes off the layout. Stay tuned. At the end of this video, you will see some closer up photos of each part of this layout. All right, thanks guys. Bye.